Well, good evening, everyone. This is Tammy Stoffel, StampinTammy, independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. And tonight I have a very simple but beautiful card design that I'll be working on. I had my youngest son ask me if I could create a sympathy card for someone he knows who lost his mother. It's for a young man, and you know that these are hard cards to design when especially when a young one has lost a parent, or a parent has lost a child. So I realized as I got ready to start this live that I did not cut my card base. So this is going to be a simple card. We're going to use the Gorgeous Leaves stamp set. And this image from the Artistically Inked. Oops. It's just kind of to make a background. All right, so I'm just going to get this card base taken care of. This is just going to be a simple card without a bunch of layers. This is for, you know, a young man. So froofy is out of the question. All right, so we're going to start with the basic white card base. And I'm using the thick basic white. Thick works really well as a card base, and gives the cards a little more substance to them. So let me find this beautiful stamp set it's in the holiday catalog, and let's see. It is on page, so page 47 in the catalog is where you're going to find this Gorgeous Leaves bundle. And this bundle is the stamp set and the dies. They're absolutely gorgeous. Look at these images of these leaves. A lot of detail. There's a little bit of hint of splatter around them. There is background images as well. So there's 3 different leaves. The background images, a little splatter, and then one more stamp that has these 3 tiny leaves as well. And we'll see as this is coming together what we, what I decide to add. But I'm not putting any layers on here. I'm not looking for a bunch of bling, just stamps, ink, and paper. And then there's also the Gorgeous Leaves, or Intricate Leaves dies. And we'll play with this set some more and create some beautiful other cards. I've got a couple of ideas for making a note card gift pack that is sure to please. So I guess this is the only one page that has these images on it. So there's intricate dies, and then there's also the dies that will cut out the stamped images. So very versatile, and this is, you can use this at any time. It's not just for fall. Okay, so the colors that I'm going to use tonight are just a nice green palette. I'm going to use soft seafoam and mint macaron to create a real soft background for the leaves. And then we're going to use soft succulent and evening evergreen to stamp the leaves themselves. We'll see as it goes along what we're going to use for the color for the sentiment, and it just depends on how, you know, what it looks like when we get the leaves on. I've got a couple of different sentiments here that will determine where it goes on the card. Depends on the how the leaves lay out and what size is going to work the best. Okay, so let's see. I hope I'm not too crooked here. I don't have my my laptop streaming right now. The internet was lagging a little bit, so I'm hoping that it's starting to stabilize a bit out here so that we can I can see comments, but no comments again for this evening. So what that does mean for you is just please write your, post your questions and your comments. I'll go back and read all of those and answer once I'm finished with the video. As always, it's appreciated to, if you're watching, to comment and or share the video to help me build my tiny crafting business. So this is what I do just for pleasure. I'm a nurse by trade. I think probably those that know me know that. I've been a nurse for a long time, 32 years to be exact. And so I need a creative outlet, and this is this works well for me. Okay, so I think I didn't prep my stamps ahead of time, but again, this is the Gorgeous Leaves stamp set. And then we're going to use this image from the Artistically Inked stamp set. Use that to build our background. Okay, so I've not put the stickers on these stamps yet because I hadn't even popped them out of the red rubber until just now. So, but this is this one has the sticker on it already. And what that does is it just kind of helps you to know where, what your image is going to look like and where it's lined up as while you're, finish your thought, Tammy. While you're trying to position your stamp. Okay, so that one goes on like so. And we need this one like so. Okay, so I think we definitely want to make sure that our background colors are really soft. The soft seafoam is a very subtle, it's part of the Subtles collection, as is mint macaron. But what I don't want is for anything to overpower and take away from the beauty of the leaves. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to stamp off when I use these colors. Okay. So we'll do second generation stamping. We're just going to ink this up. And we'll stamp off. And we'll line that up. Just kind of try to get the center of where I want the stamp. And then I'm going to clean my stamp off real quick using that chamois, the Stampin' Chamois. I'm going to close this. I'm bound and determined to get my finger in the ink. Nope, that looks good. Okay. And then this is the mint macaron. So we're going to ink that up. Okay, and we're going to stamp off. And then I'm going to turn this and stamp over the top of that. Okay, so I know it doesn't look like much now, but just wait. Okay. Clean that stamp off so that I don't get it in my fingers. And then this is Evening Evergreen. And we're going to start with the Evening Evergreen and this maple leaf. And we'll stamp off and we'll see what a second generation looks like. Okay, I really like that full strength, so we're going to go ahead and put a full strength in. And see what we got here. Okay, that is beautiful. And then we're going to use Soft Succulent for this smaller leaf. Stamp off. That's a nice color. Okay. And we're going to do one more of the maple leaf. No, I think we're not going to do a maple leaf. I want to make sure that I've got enough room for my sentiment. Okay, so you see how I got a little extra ink because my ink pad is juicy. I have a little extra ink around the edge there. I'm going to go ahead and clean that off to make sure that I don't wind up with a halo when I stamp that again. Okay. And like so. Okay. Clean that. Clean this maple leaf. see, what I really wanted to do is I wanted to make sure that I used Evening Evergreen here, and I didn't because I had two ink pads open, but that's okay. We're just going to roll with it here. We do have this small image, and then we also have the splatter from the Gorgeous Leaves. So let's just get that out and take a look and see what it looks like. We'll do a little stamping on the grid paper. That's the nice thing about the grid paper is you can stamp on it to get an idea. It's not quite the same because the paper quality and the color is a little different, but it does kind of help fill some of that in. Okay, so I think we're done with the soft succulent. I'm going to close that up for now. And I think I'm going to use some soft seafoam for the splatter. And we'll stamp off. Add a little more here. A little more here. And then let's take a look and see what these little leaves look like. Let's put those in some Evening Evergreen. And we're going to clean that real quick. I'm going to close up the seafoam, soft seafoam, before I stick my fingers in it. Let's see. And we're going to stamp off. And I think I want that second generation color for these. Okay, that looks good. Okay, one more right in here. All right, so for the sentiment, I've got a couple of them. I've got With Deepest Sympathy, but I think that's probably a little too big and bold. And that's from the Peaceful Moments stamp set. And then the Delicate Dahlias is a celebration item, and this is a free stamp set with a $100 qualifying order. It's a beautiful, makes beautiful, beautiful dahlias. And it's got this nice little sending heartfelt sympathy. And I think I'm going to put that right down here. I might want to add one more stamp of that little leaves. I've got plenty of ink on there. I'm going to start over with it, and we're going to do one full strength. Okay. There we go. And then we're going to get that Sending Heartfelt Sympathy This is a photopolymer stamp set. So I am going to need to make sure that I ink up and stamp that image a couple of times to make sure that I get good a good inking, and that I've got a foam pad that I'm stamping on. So let's see, let's kind of line that up there. That's just a quick tip right there to mount your photopolymer stamps. It is a good idea to not use your hand to apply it directly to the block, because especially for images that are longer or bigger, you could easily manipulate the shape of photopolymer. And if you just set it down on your work surface and just let it set for a moment and then apply the block to the stamp, then you're less likely to get distortion. Okay, so sentiment, we're going to go right here, and we're going to use the Evening Evergreen. So let's ink this up, and let's stamp on our paper. That looks really good. Okay, so we're going to go right here. The reason you want to stamp with photopolymer, you want to be able to stamp on a cushion or foam surface, is because there isn't the foam cushion like on the red rubber here. There's this foam cushion piece, and that makes sure that you get good contact with all of your image, and you don't have that with photopolymer. The beauty of photopolymer is that if you can line up things, you can do two-step stamping real easily. And but you definitely want to have a cushion so that you get that image transferring nice and clean and crisply. Okay, so we are stamping with Evening Evergreen, and the sentiment will go right here. Also, give it a few moments to make sure that the color transfers. And let me clean that real quick here. All right, so we used the soft seafoam for the splatter. And I may want to add a little bit of that mint macaron. I almost dropped my stamp. So let's go ahead and stamp some of that. Second generation looks good. Let's go ahead and fill in just a little bit more color. Stamp off. And stamp off again. One more time. Okay, one last spot. All right, and that is simple stamping. Beautiful little heartfelt sympathy card for a friend. All right, I will have all of the details on my blog later this evening, As always, I appreciate you watching and your support. Like and share, commenting is always appreciated. For those of you that have been along waiting for my newsletter, I finally figured out how to use the program, sort of. So newsletter will be going out tomorrow afternoon. So check your email for that. If you have not given me your email address in the past, please, and you want to be on my newsletter or receive my newsletter, please go ahead and send it to me either in a private message, or I'll have my email address can be found on my website. Either way is fine, or if you've got my phone number, you can text it to me, and I'll gladly add you to my newsletter. I promise that I would never sell or give your information to anyone else, and I also will not spam your email with daily newsletter information. It's a monthly newsletter. If there's something huge coming out from Stampin' Up, there may be an additional announcement that would come out. But this is a monthly newsletter, not something that's coming on a regular or a more often than that basis. So I appreciate, again, all of your support. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you later.